Alright. Shit, wind really is picking up, y'all. I'm kind of craving a cookie. Really want to bake some shit. It's 3:30 in the morning and I really just bakes. And the sad part is, like, I have fucking 900 shelves full of packaged shit, but I hate packaged fucking cookies. I much prefer my own desserts and shit. I hate packaged garbage. It's a thing for me. I don't know. Shit's gross. You know what I mean? Hey, dog. Hey, Nance. Alright. So, um, like I said on the other one, now we got the lockdown bullshittery out of the way. Harry set himself wide open for that fuckery, and his preferred meat packages. It is really a whole fucking idiot. Anyway, and we got to talk about DV a bit. Uh, the usual targeting things, around here. Some chicken or the egg talk. Uh, we'll do this one. Uh, hopefully start where I was going to earlier with the other. That wind, I know what's coming with it. Alright? Know what's coming with it. It's supposed to be like 3 fucking degrees here. 8 and like 3 and man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna hop the back of a semi and go to Key West. This is bullshit. Straight bullshit. We have now went from mud season in East Tennessee, which honestly has been quite dry. Not much of a mud season either, which is extraordinarily odd. To, I guess, we're gonna go into winter. So, I hate it. I hate it. Alright. Apparently have a cat. I don't know about lurking. Well, if I could pick fucking Cancun or something, I would, but you know how this place would feel if I went there. Like, she ran, Mexico, international. Somebody call the feds. Alright, I'm gonna move my foot warmer. Because that's bullshit. Just the sound of it is making me cold. And I know I got 85 in here, but I don't like it. That wind is triggering the shit out of my malfunctioning ass body. It's like, bitch, we feel it coming. So anyway, I really gotta stop eating ice at this rate. It's killing me, literally. Mm, sounds tonight, man. Not only is the wind like a freight train coming down the hollow and not letting off in the least, very sustained, but very much has the feel and sounds of something lurking in the darkness and using that night has a flavor on it. So anyway, it's oh, blessed stupid. Alright, I think it's this one. Yeah, my body is not operating and functioning on all levels currently. My hands aren't cooperating with me. My arms are just doing that weird, like, similar to stroke patient shit. They just keep flinging shit, doing stuff on their own, releasing, not continuing to hold. I don't know. It's been a day. So anyway, this this is what as I was compiling, I accidentally tapped, but bits, even amongst the most stupid little weapons and stalkers and crazies and such targeters, well organized group style, pay for play, that type of shit. So anyway, oh, you're told it's still up on a bipolar thing. Looks like so. Oh, and I hate to do what I do. Gives it fucking attention. Oh god, I was told. Always the weight of right. In this case, I'm gonna make an exception. Probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna. And then it'll make it feel like. I mean, it's just gonna make it worse. It's gonna make it feel like it does something valid or useful. And that is unfortunate. Because people with that many issues, especially those this group uses for its worst shit to harass others, pay for play. These fucking freaks. They feel like they have anything, then they're, oh god, and then they pump out 600 more pieces. Assholes everywhere, go watch it thinking they have something, but the truth is, they have no idea, much like the rest, what bits are anywhere. And without any of us, they'd skirt right on by it, never having a clue. It's one hell of a decision. Just makes them worse. And I hate that. Especially since 99.9.9.9 of their shit is nothing but that. Who they are is shit. What they are is shit. What they do is shit. It's evil shit. Terrible shit. The worst variety in and around open and active cases into real people's fucking lives. Real children. Real witnesses. Real court systems. Goddamn. There are a few here who have built up on nothing but our name from the beginning. Who've gone down. Build up again on our name. Targeting harassment. Go down. Build up again. And we're another one of those fucking cycles because, you know, the income stream that is JSP and the purposeful targeting of her and harassment of her, her family, her children, bullshit, narratives, whole nine, pays well. Behind the scenes, and weird all this, like I said in the last one, it's weird this manic thing doesn't take place and they can step for days and days, never seemingly sleep. When it's in full out target mode, as money's pushed in the background, stays sleepless. Very. I don't find that a coincidence. I don't find it very manic either. I just find it very. It puts the lotion on and crawl into his skin, Ed Gein style, and scary as shit. And misery-esque Stephen King shit. Scary in a pathetic way. Scary and it's hard to believe people like this are allowed to just roam around. But they do. And they're also allowed someone on access to use that to do crazy fuck shit to people in real life. Wonders never cease, do they? And for so many years at that, Anyway, wow, that wind is just not. See, I told you. Alright. And then, drug traffic people.
Describe how you did for me, like the traffic that comes in and out of there.
Yeah, there is a lot of drug traffic people coming in from all hours and nights, going down the road looking for pills or meth or whatever it is they're looking for. And we've caught them. My neighbors has caught them several times parked in our driveway, and they'll run them out and say, "Go do your damn mess somewhere else," or whatever,
Yeah.
And so then had people arguing with us. It wasn't but a couple days before the actual sale happened. And then there was strange people sitting at the very bottom at the bottom of the driveway for this property. Across the road, there's a spot, like a parking spot, and it's a great place to watch this property we were on, and straight up our driveway plus Candace's, and just sit there. But I could see it from. So anyway, I took exception to that. There was all kinds of people sitting there for like an hour or two, and as most of you know online, you just, like I said, you can't fix the level fucking stupid. All these things are very different things. Also, vastly different spots, different events. I don't guess I caught any receipts or anything for any of all these different events or throughout the years, and which neighbors and which meth traffic and the actual spots that were parked and all this. But it's just gonna put some shit together that sounds like it. It's on a blue barrel hunt. Carry on. And there was a DCS situation next door. And so, but it was so strange that, I think at that point I had messaged over and I was like, look, there are cars sitting here for hours because I didn't know what they were doing. And this, they're trying to imply that's the meth traffic, whatever. Oh dear. And just, God, it's so stupid. I thought it was meth traffic. I'd run it off, like I and other neighbors did from other spots for years. I wouldn't have said, hey, this traffic's strange. I would be like, hey, this traffic's meth traffic. These people sitting here aren't. And they were sitting in broad daylight, not nighttime, which was, yeah, I mean, you just can't be fucking stupid around here. And they just can't, like I said. But hey, if they can put a bunch of pieces together that makes whatever story and makes it sound good, and they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and they put it out for y'all, it sounds like it's all this, oh gosh, doesn't it? It ain't shit. These are all vastly different things, different events, different times. Just not even, they don't even correlate. But hey, they can put it together in 5, 6 minutes and make y'all think whatever the fuck, can't they? They can really think they're on to new blueberries. Meanwhile, the rest of us here in the community, or the real neighbors, or the real people who live in there and live here, we're looking at it and our eyes cross or roll back up into our fucking heads all the way back and damn near get perma-stuck and stupid. But yet thousands of people be like, oh, they're such good detectives. They're really trying to solve this. No, they're just putting pieces together because they're stupid. But they sound like they go together, don't they? It's a problem. Always has been. Carrying on.
So that makes them mad, and they'll come by the house and burn rubber and raise all kind of heck and all this stuff. So we've had problems with them before, but lately we haven't had zero. We got zero traffic there lately.
And when he did this interview with J4, dumbass who was working with PG Share, the rest during the time of the great weaving and cleansing and bullshittery, masterminding plans behind the scenes to start holding marathons under false pretenses and shit. Anyway, so, and that bullshit about Summer being somewhere, taking somebody having her cornbread and mafia style, apparently a fake fed on the loose already at that point, as well, weirdly enough. I think Lips was involved in half of that shit too. It doesn't matter. But during the point of that, yeah, it wasn't too much of anything coming and going because there was cops still on the road. As in, certain ones of these very on J4, the guard slash cop at the end of the road was there 24 hours a day. And then also for weeks and months, you had detectives, FBI, card teams, profilers coming and going. Wasn't nobody risking really coming in there much. And then, during that period, the only ones that would are the fucking psycho YouTubers, social media junkies, assholes from around everywhere coming to see, not realizing how even that's disrupting, maybe even keeping people from spotting a return by a predator, which, if you were truly about true crime, you'd realize was a great possibility. And then you'd stay the whole fuck away from areas, so maybe law enforcement or neighbors could identify a return of a predator easy, but nope. It had to be looky-loos and petting zoo shit, and tragedy pimping and psychics and bullshit. So anyway, thanks for that, guys. Much appreciated. Like I said, disruptive from day one. Especially after the cop was taken off. Either way, so yeah, the dominated sound like, oh yeah, traffic. And when the fuck is gonna come? Look, you just can't even. Okay. But hey, it sounds like it's another good piece to the thing, right? It looks like it all goes together. Then people be like, oh my gosh, you do such a good job with these 3-second videos. You're so amazing at telling a story. You're on to it. Meanwhile, like I said, those of us here, our eyes rolled backwards. Carrying on.
It's slowed down. Well, ever since summer, yeah. Ever since that.
Then nothing since then.
So so your road, is it, I mean, I just see like, the clips I've seen on the news, and it looks like you live in the country.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how many neighbors do you guys?
Well, it's hard to.
Looks like you live in the country. Wow. No shit. Can you imagine? I can't imagine being a goddamn journalist or anything remotely real, conducting an interview and being fucking Captain Obviously. Can you imagine spending those seconds and that amount of stupid going, gosh, golly gee whiz, it looks like you live in the country. Like, bitch, I know you live in the woods. What's what? Stupid.
Yeah, with all the trees and everything, but we got neighbors, all around us, really.
But you can't see them from your house.
We got John that lives in a trailer about 500 yards away. Our neighbors about 50 yards away.
Everybody's really spread out.
Does 500 yards and 50 yards sound like that spread out to you? I guess to people who live in cul-de-sacs. Maybe. You're not right on top of each other competing, picket fences and your bullshit. Being so enraged, Chevy ass is online taking shit out. Because your HOA anger. On random shit online. I don't know. I guess 550 yards sounds like a great distance. Whatever.
These guys are really good people.
Right.
They've never had an abduction off a beach group before.
And I'm sure they're
all really great people. No, but then also adding the first days, bad neighbor, that then became plural and into first. And then the fact and truth remains that they, along with, well, honestly, whatever. Oh dear. Okay.
Interviewed all the neighbors and
Yeah.
everything, and all the. There was some.
They've never had an abduction off a beach group before.
And I'm sure they've interviewed all the neighbors and everything, and all the. There was several sex offenders in the area.
I'm sure they interviewed all the neighbors and blah blah. Oh yes. But then how did that end up going? We need the military to bust in everybody's doors and interview all the people, and the offenders haven't been interviewed, and there's no roadblocks, and the bad neighbor and the bad neighbors, and I wish you could just search everybody's buildings and can y'all extend that reward fund? Weirdo. Carrying on.
True, correct?
Yeah. They check all those out and everything, yeah. And
well, if they checked them all out, then why is it still this big old, well, there's offenders, and we don't know if they question or not. You see how it's traveled down the line and changed? And weird, eh?
We put a lot of pressure on the drug traffic, trying to get names of everybody who's been through there and stuff like that. And
yeah.
So, and as far as we can tell, it's none of them. You're absolutely right. Yes, Matt.
Did you hear that? Just a couple weeks in. We've put a lot of pressure on the drug traffic in this area and getting names and online. As far as we can tell, it's none of them. Wouldn't that include Fred? Alright. I'm simming back. Alright.
Sitting, waiting, watching. You know, I said from the beginning, I said, it's got to be somebody close.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and it's, as far as we can tell, it's none of them. You're absolutely right. Yes, ma'am.
Sitting, waiting, watching. You know, I said from the beginning, I said, it's got to be somebody close by there.
Yeah.
I think, because they're sitting watching, waiting for the right second, just the right second.
I agree. But there's one thing we got to stick with. There are two things we got to stick with. The boys are the last one that seen her go down in the basement. And number two, the dogs, the police dogs, followed her scent, not down the driveway, but down the dog trail, and they dead ended on the road. One thing we got to stick with.
I said, it's got to be somebody close by there.
Yeah.
I think, because they're sitting watching, waiting for the right second, just the right second.
I agree. But there's one thing we got to stick with. There are two things we got to stick with. The boys are the last one that seen her go down in the basement. And number two, the dog.
But are they, though? Are they?
The police dogs followed her scent, not down the driveway, but down the dog trail, and they dead ended on the road.
But did they? Did they really?
Also, I was told by law enforcement that whether the scent, I've seen several places that say a dog picked up the scent and it ended. I've been told by a fairly credible source that that was not the case.
Sheriff Brian Lawson has not publicly commented on specifics of the case until now. I asked Sheriff Lawson about Wells' claims. Did dogs follow Summer's scent down the trail to the main road? The sheriff says yes.
The dogs had a pretty good trail on the track for a little while, but then it disappeared. But they lost scent when they come to the road. And sometimes canines, they will lose the scent when it changes different type. Or it maybe went from the gravel to the pavement.
And
Gravel to pavement? Okay.
That's what we have to go with.
The road. They're still right by the road.
Right. Which means she was thrown in a vehicle. And Fred Hill Fred Hill was leaving out that time, hauling some scrap metal off at that time.
Within
I remember the audio piece from the news we're listening to. This goes with, this is they announced the scale back. There's been a change in the effort to locate a missing 5-year-old girl. Plus, there's a possible new lead that could help explain what happened to Summer Wells. This all comes as there's a shift in strategy now focusing on the possibility of foul play. After 2 weeks, search crews have found no trace of the little girl. Aerial views taken by Sky 5 of the family home on Bean Hill Road in Marshall show that woods literally surround the home. It's very rough terrain, full of venomous snakes, briar patches, and even an occasional bear. Plus, it's been very hot. Crews have spent long days the past 2 weeks doing line searches. Others hit the woods using bloodhounds, never finding the girl's scent. The only thing they've found is exhaustion. I've had guys come up and tell me, Captain, I'll go to the end, but I'm tired, and I'm physically and mentally tired, said Tim Coop, the incident commander. He also said that, obviously, it's people in the press thing, when he was doing the presser, those are his words, pretty much verbatim. Coop says crews are scaling back search operations to focus on more specialist searches. This comes as more attention goes to the possibility Summer was the victim of foul play. However, no one is giving up on this. With no trace of Summer found, it appears less likely she wandered off, and more likely she is the victim of foul play. No suspects have been announced yet, but authorities consider everyone a person of interest. It's worth noting the FBI is now calling its Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team. The CARD teams involve experts in intelligence analysis and profiling in criminal cases against children. All right. Y'all also remember when, now y'all know how I feel about fucking Raider. But there's a piece out here in one of his bullshits. Donation circuits, where he says when he was there the first few days, the first time, whatever. But anyway, he says that something to the effect of he knew the dogs, etc., something, but that Summer Scent was down the driveway, and they believed that was just because, well, she had recently traveled up it with her mother and down just average day, like your all sense of being your own driveway every day. Anyway, yeah, I wasn't going back through all the bullshit to find that piece. No, listened to it the other day. Anyway, carry on.
Welcome out, which means she was thrown in a vehicle. And Fred Hill was leaving out that time, hauling some scrap metal off at that time.
Well, I come in at night. I can't think exactly what time I come in. So then he did.
Right. Which means she was thrown in a vehicle. And Fred Hill was leaving out that time, hauling some scrap metal off at that time.
Well, I come in at night. I can't think exactly what time I come in.
Oh, I can give you like down to the minute when he came in. I'm pretty sure I even have videos of it, but it's fine. I don't know though. I feel like phone was in hand, but because of helicopter noise. Either way, as he passed by me about fucking me. Whatever. We've been through this before. Karen. But he was the reason traffic was able to get broken up that night, and people actually managed to get out of there finally the first time. Hours and hours. Carry on.
I was going to haul cars that day, and then they closed before I could get anything hauled. And then I think exactly what time I.
Fred Hill was leaving out that time, hauling some scrap metal off at that time.
Well, I come in at night.
At what time? At what time?
I can't think exactly what time I come in. Because I was going to haul cars that day, and then they closed before.
He was gonna haul cars that day, but they closed before
I could get anything hauled. And then I was going to go to the grocery store, and then I ran on the man out here in Sullivan. He broke down on a motorcycle, and I told he asked if I could get hold of somebody to come get him, how they doing for him. And I told him, I said, well, I got a trailer, so I come back and got a trailer here. And went for him the same day Summer went missing.
So wait. You didn't have a trailer with cars on it to begin with? Or scrap metal or anything? You had to go back and get a trailer? I'm lost. Now, like I've said from the beginning, Fred did indeed, when he came back in that night, pass by with a fucking trailer with a motorcycle / bike strapped on it. said this.
Well, I didn't see nothing in the holler down there during the times that they allowed she went missing.
So the
So he didn't see nothing in and out of the holler during the times they allow she went missing. Well, ain't that a different Fred than the Fred who's been here for a couple years now, saying him and Laura seen everything. Somehow while also not being in there. So, in there is the piece of truth, right? I know that Fred came back in hauling a bike. Wouldn't speak to anybody, head forward, busted past the guard on the road, but he didn't have ID because he didn't have a license. Breaks up traffic, pushes his way through, about runs me over, doesn't respond. I'm like, hey, bro, careful with the fucking toes, my dude. Do I need to move up a little bit to where you can get by? The bike comes in with him on the trailer. But why? But why? Why does somebody out here say, hey, I broke down XYZ? Do you know someone that can haul back in for me, blah, blah? And then instead of hauling it to them or wherever they need it, you bring it into Ben Hill. Okay? Maybe because somewhere in there. You hear what the fuck's going down. Not real sure. But why risk all that? Why just stay out? Why push in, knowing you got a good chance of possibly being arrested or anything else, with no driver's license coming? With a trailer, with a bike, that could all be confiscated and put in impound. Doesn't even belong to you. Why risk that? Usually that type would, they'd stay far the fuck away from that. And that type of risk. Anyway, because I know the one piece to be true. And his tone remains consistent throughout that statement, and even it's a piece I hadn't heard before. So I'm like, oh, there it is. Wild. So that goes with the pieces I hold. I know I heard Fred leave out that day. Hmm. Didn't hear Fred going in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out, though, for sure. In fact, did hear Fred's truck at the time stop someplace and start up again. Just thought it was the typical shenanigans of that particular vehicle, which was having issues off and on randomly anyway, so didn't think too much about it. But if he wasn't hauling cars, and you see the hours here for all the facilities generally runs to like 3:34, and you have to be there about an hour in advance if you're doing cars, or they won't even take you. Won't let you in because they need time to do search. So, that would place it at him needing to be there by 2:30, roundabout. But if he didn't have a trailer, and with cars on it already, or a trailer and scrap metal, or it was just scrap metal in the back of the truck bed, not a trailer at all, not hauling cars, because there was shit here and there in the truck bed. And you didn't get to take anything to a scrapyard at all, or crush cars. What the fuck are you doing for all them hours? Ran into a random guy out here and needed a bike hauled because he broke down somewhere. But then instead of taking it to them, you bring it back into Ben Hill that night. You say you come back and you pick up a trailer to do that. Ha! You don't take it to them though. It's weird. And you were gonna stop at the grocery store. Work. Like priceless? Probably. Probably so. Huh. And if you say nothing throughout all them hours they allow, she went missing, and you're putting yourself at running in and out, then why is it now, for a couple years, all we hear is how you and Laura seen all the things?
Ranger.
You know, highly in for him, and I told him, I said, well, I got a trailer, so I come back and got a trailer here. And when I was for him, the same day Summer went missing. Well, I didn't see nothing in the holler down there during the times that they allowed she went missing.
So the Ranger, black, older model Ford Ranger that was seen in the area, we were told by law enforcement, we turned in that clue. We were told by law enforcement that that truck was there. It was at the end of Ben Hill Road picking up an automotive part.
It's the Mountain Dew people. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, I hadn't heard that bit before either, because I probably should start listening to somebody else randomly. But I try not to taint myself. That's kind of weird, since I hope we all hear each other, and that way I want keys and pieces to come together and drop. But, you know, just... I have feelings about things, and thing is,
Ranger, black, older model Ford Ranger that was...
Well, I didn't see nothing in the holler down there during the times that they allowed she went missing.
So the Ranger, black, older model Ford Ranger that was seen in the area, we were told by law enforcement, we turned in that clue. We were told by law enforcement that was that truck was there. It was at the end of Ben Hill Road picking up an automotive part.
At the end of Ben Hill picking up an automotive part, I'm gonna guess that could only be at one certain neighbor's place. An automotive part. Alright. Huh.
We were told by law enforcement, we turned in that clue. We were told by law enforcement that was that truck was there. It was...
That truck was there, and it was in the back of the hollow picking up an automotive. Hmm. Well, no time like the present, eh? June 23rd. That's the one we pointed out to Blank the evening night he was removing that guy from our property. The one he went looking for after leaving our driveway. Yeah. Going to be a minute. Yeah. Had to bang a straw pump. Took a bit. Always late, you know. Anyway, it comes in about the same time every day when I'm waiting on you. You happen to be off that day because of me. So you've seen him at his usual time coming in and out with. Now this predates that message. They just called asking about that ranger that came in the night, that the dude was there, told them it the same dude as Gray. That's what Blank said drove it. So they think it's him. The one in traffic yesterday or day before as we were getting/taking our kids up. I wonder if that's Flash Fred. I think I saw going in the driveway at Candace and Donnie's, but didn't go all the way up that day, Summerville. He goes, and because, see, there's multiple trucks still. Some with some red, some with no red, some solid red-ish. That type of thing, even we were, He goes, it's not red. It's the one with the, and I'm cutting it out. The red one was different. I was like, oh, black truck, question mark. And then I blanked some more shit out here. And the response is blah, 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 and yes on color. Now, I would like to know if a white HHR, if like something really light gray or gray in the sunlight, might look white or be, I don't know, remembered as white instead of. I'd also like to know, maybe it's not a throw off type thing too, but there's that, because some people own both things. But then there's this. Then there's this. So nobody there has said they saw the truck. I say, and others are saying, Donnie and Candace were the ones to say they seen him. The red truck. This person's like, they meant in other words, but it did its own little spell check and changed it to another words. Cover up. And then I'm like, none of the neighbors nor us. And it was supposedly parked between our driveways, or mine. And the cops are saying the day before or the day of. But we had eyes on the road in that driveway, etc., all day till dark, till half a.m. the day before, including a cop. And the only truck I can remember like that, it had been coming and going for weeks around the same time of day. Now, thing here is, first night before dark, you hear the whispers about this red truck. Everybody ran. He's like, "What? Excuse me?" Nobody can put a bead on really where that shit's coming from. Now, during Dobbs being there on the 14th, it said there was a few cars that kept just appearing and not appearing, and then also there was no vehicle with Dobbs at all when others ran into him. During that period, it said that there was something parked there, several somethings. It was like a never-changing thing. And then first night, there's also whispers, where somebody in there was circulating a rumor that Dobbs was just camping everywhere. The whole neighborhood went, huh? That dude never camped anything. Even Don and Candace knew, despite the fact that they continued to put out that bullshit for months and not everybody. So I don't know. We've all tried to get a beat on who started the red truck. But really, it very quickly started being said that Don and Candace wants to kind of put that out into the wind. Just like the dog and the camping sites. Though I do think somebody else pushed out the campsite stuff from down or near and definitely in the hours after command post was established. It's an issue. Hit Facebook, hit other places. Also because of Monster's dumbass Monster Sue XML and her stupid ass bullshittery. Uh, around us. So. And all of us. Candace and Dawn immediately talking about us and all these other things and Bob's and whatnot, it's just like, fuck it. But, you know, I need to click. Yep, and edit out. And, alright. I cut off half the message, but walking the bank and survey lines helped with, and a car or something went up their driveway. But something was wrong with it, so I asked Bug who it was. But in my head, the traction sound was wrong, flash of the wrong color red, and it never completed the loop. I think it's weird that nobody's claimed that red truck, they say. I was like, it's why I was so confused when Dawn came in driving the Subaru after we were all searching, and a few minutes after Andy was already in here from work. Thing is, nobody knows who supposedly seen that truck. You know, the red one. Alright. Now, I don't know about you, but this is way before we were public. Years later, still like Jackson. We're out there with survey lines, checking one, it looked like it was down. Eldest helped take a stick off of it, that was what was weighting it down. The flash went up the driveway, didn't complete the loop, traction was wrong. I knew, or I wouldn't have asked, but I dismissed it. But I was like, hey, who was that? It's just a neighbor. And he was trying to get me back to sex. He knew I wasn't feeling good. I just took his word for it, went on with everything, you know, but I knew something was wrong with it or I wouldn't have asked. Just like I was so fucking confused. And that's how I knew. Was being able to put the piece together. What the fuck? Then what the fuck was that going up the driveway earlier if fuckface is driving that right now? It's what the fuck? And then going, that's what was wrong. Something was wrong with the color, or there was an extreme amount of dust or dirt on something, or clear cut was gone. Didn't have the right traction, it didn't complete. And then, long before I was public, others knew, I knew exactly what I've continued to say. At a certain point, Fred told me that another little girl, same age as Summer, looked exactly like her, sort of, in description from Fred. And even he said that. But that she had been taken, or she had just vanished. Out of the back of the holler, out of the woods. And she belonged to meth cooks. All of them were moving around inside the woods to different areas and taking goods in and out, and food, and shit to cook with, and all that shit. But they didn't report her as missing or vanished. Because, well, obviously. And she, somehow much like Summer, was not yet in school. But they had such camp that they were actually living in the woods. They weren't just visiting and or coming and going. They were actually living in the woods with the cook site and being moved around by others during periods. When it's time to move, you know. Goods taken in and out to them, you know. They needed help moving the cook locations inside of the mountains, such. But anyway, it starts with, it's why my initial watching. But damn, there's no way to tell with so many looky-loos and online crazies going real life. This was right after they firmly took off all full-time and part-time guards / copped into the road and all these other things. But of course, looky-loos, like I said a minute ago, part of my initial watching was to see return of predator or person, if anyone else other than those last known to be with Summer were involved. Somebody like that would indeed come back to revisit. Damn near bet on it. Couldn't tell though, for all you fucking Fruit Loops out there in the world who thought you just had to come into Ben Hill. Like I said, thanks a whole fucking bunch. So anyway, hey, but y'all got footage of me in my nightgown with a machete moving my cameras around in the middle of the night and put them out on psychic channels. Thank God that really helped Summer Wells. Whereas if you just stayed the entire shit fuck out of there, that might have helped Summer a whole hell of a lot more. Somebody to have actually been identified, if not for you assholes. Yeah. Good job, guys. Anyway, see, it's the problem with y'all going to all these fucking places where all these events happen. See? Do you see the fucking issue? Yeah. Hey, but it's no big thing. You're just driving in the road. It's fine. It's fine. No harm, no foul. You don't, like, get out of the car and pet the animals or anything. Nah, it is a problem. Because with crimes like this, chances are, really high probability of revisiting the scene by those responsible. Can't tell for you assholes that do this around every case. You just gotta have the TikTok footage and the YouTube footage, don't you? Don't you? Hell, you know, on all the anniversaries and shit y'all visit here, every year, every 6 months, every time goes, like, you know, it's fun. Every time dumbasses come here, get attention back, others out here like, oh shit, I didn't know about this case, let me go visit Ben Hill, and those like writing all this shit, right? Every time you do this inside that community, just know, especially on anniversary dates and certain times, that could hold significance for the person or persons responsible. And they may actually be visiting or coming in at those times. And once again, they can't be seen because of all you assholes. Get it yet? Anyway, it's why my initial watching. But damn, there's no way to tell with so many looky-loos and online crazies going real life in here. Anyway, so then I go, know what Fred said to me yesterday? Mind you, I couldn't tell if it was real Fred, dope Fred, or schizophrenic Fred. No lie. But he said there's a guy and girl in here stashed in the wood. Cooks. Says some of the others bring food and goods to them and help move the cook locations in the back of the hollow. Says he had in caps a little girl too that vanished, and he made it seem like they didn't report it because it was in here and they were cooking, obviously. Fred's speak is strange. Persons like that would make sense on Candace saying that about the, quote, youngin' down the road. Now I was like, nah, not really, because Candace implied the one that was for sale for meth down the road, but did point in the same direction that Hollow travels and where the cook locations and all that were at some point that Fred was implying was a little one, a wee tiny one. And that was stated by her quite a bit before Summer vanished. About the time all the weird changes started happening. Year and a half before Summer vanished. So I know my reply to this is like, nah, not the same age, blah, blah. But Candace did point in the same direction, so there is that. I remember exactly where she was standing and all this shit. She said which way she pointed. So that's neither here nor there. But, so not the same. But then again, maybe because of that Fred's time or that amount of time passing, or Fred wrongly assuming the age, or whatever. Maybe the fuck they were talking about the same little fuck, I don't know. But if you're a cook, you're making the meth, you then wouldn't trade a child off for meth. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they're both talking about two different. Actually, all I can tell you is I hope neither were real and it was just Candace with diabetes, though hurt about it. I don't know. Just why lie about stuff? I just don't. Then again, why lie about and hoaxes and all that bullshit. And Fred's Fred. Okay, Fred's Fred. So I hope neither thing is true. I hope both are full of shit. Always hope that. I did try to get a beat on the one. I and Monster both did. Did report it in real time, just so you're aware. You know, because y'all do love that whole, why didn't you report it? Why did you just live beside this? Why didn't you do anything? It's weird shit you all don't know, but accuse us all of. Swear we didn't or did not do with absolutely no idea of anything. And y'all love screaming that shit, don't you? Just love it. So anyway, it seems that if you believe or whatever, I don't know, by this point though, or at that point with Fred, he'd already, like, first day he comes looking for an imaginary dog. Next point after some adventure, he's looking for a goddamn imaginary dog. That was bullshit. We all knew. When we see him walking up the rise, I and Monster were like, no, here he comes. He's gotta get the info. Yeah. Tried being like, I think she's been gone since Saturday and all this and whatever, and I think she's married, whatever, blah, blah. All this other shit. Now, I think it was weeks ago she finished. Think this, and man, I didn't know nothing was going on until, like, bullshit, homie, you came in last night and I was standing right there. What do you mean you didn't know she vanished? What the fuck, you liar? Like, also, who you think you're lying to? I talked to Don as he was on his way up to your fucking hizzy a couple hours after she vanished. What the fuck are you doing, Fred? Besides trying to fill me full of bullshit. Like, whatever. Small speck of truth in there, most likely, because Don says it as well. The resurrection shit, all these other things he says in the Bobo interview, there's also that. Well, hope she was close enough to God, la la, and I was like, man, I don't think God holds that against little ones, that she didn't know enough, and whatever, all these things, right? Now, you can put these things here and see what's sort of real, what's at least originates from, that Prayer Garden and Cher and all them weren't quite ensconced yet and building and fairy tale and fucking up shit. Whatever, right? Writing scripts for covering asses, covering up, that type of shit. But Fred says it's weird. He's like, even he was like weirded out by it. He's like, man, that motherfucker said, basically with a bunch of mixed up different religious Bible, they're all put in together, different religious texts, different religions. It's normal for that one. It's normal for his mom too. But anyway, so it's like a son bitch says basically, in essence, that, it was she was dirty and cleansed situation. And she also couldn't get to heaven type of thing. Whatever. He swears up and down from the beginning they're trying to set him up. Freaked the fuck out about it. He's like, man, he's up here. I could tell he had something he wanted to ask me, but he just never asked. And then there comes Dawn. Weirdly. I back off to let him talk. Even after they separate and shit. Fred's like he did it again. You could tell he wanted to ask something, but didn't. Fucks up this motherfucker. It kept happening over and over again, and they were very calm when they were talking to each other. It wasn't anything. But yet, out here, y'all hear Don going, I wanted to go up and kick his fucking doors in. I went up there to kick his doors in. Police were like, you do it, sir. It's all bullshit. Somehow both knew, though, which one was coming and going on foot to meet up together in the roadway at the exact times. Real weird. Maybe Don was standing at a certain window and place to know that Fred was making himself known. Watching for him. Watching whatever. It's a place you can see in that particular spot from theirs. Just come on down. But then it was all nicey nice. Figured a launch type of shit too, though. Each time I'd see that shit, I'd talk to me. Little Monster, usually together, etc. As we were coming and going those days, or when I was waiting on detectives or law enforcement told me to get my ass down the hill at certain times, or to be there, whatever, and all these other things. Here comes Fred. Here comes Don. I've spoken to him a minute or two, and then I backed all the way off, because I knew there was something fucked up. Figured there were wires in play anyway, but, and I've said that from the beginning. Not new news. Don said he wore a wire on Fred. Fine. I don't care. Fred says he wore a wire on Don. Fine. I don't give a fuck. I hope everybody was wearing a wire. But, thing is, Fred's story about the wires don't make no goddamn sense. I tend to believe Don on that. But anyway, carrying on. Because still, you gotta be weird to wire Fred up. Try to get something essential, but then set him up cold with the dead ass spies on tape and then arrest him. If you got anything worth fuck on a wire, like, on anything to do with Summer. Like, why in the hell would the same police thing go about making him look like shit if he had to write a witness or back up a recording or a wire? I think they're gonna do that. Although there is some fuck shit there in the first days. First weeks, even. Really only by locals. So. Just like, not one forward. That's fun too, isn't it? Like any other month, year, decade. Probably why there's a whole lack of trust. Some freeness. Anyway. Uh, mm, but it's all really back to this. That's the one we pointed out to Blank. The evening/night he was removing that guy from our property. The one he went looking for after leaving our driveway. Yeah, going to be a minute. It comes in about the same time every day when I'm waiting on you. You happen to be out that day because of me, so you've seen him at his usual time coming in and out lately. Or a great deal many trucks. Several that stood out. Apparently only one going to the end of the holler to pick up a car part. Apparently frequently. And strange enough to others besides us, especially when we pointed it out, they followed this truck the day before on the 14th. Maybe it's not. Maybe all the vehicles vanishing, including Dobbs' own, here tell, but 14th, during just a couple hours he was there, because he never camped anywhere. But during, anyway, maybe it's one of those vehicles. What sticks out to me more during that time is when Dobbs pulled into town and got on that property. It coincides with the time that Dawn got a phone call and was on the phone, whatever, sitting on the tub or the bucket of drywall, whatever it was. And Dudley's like, he looked like he just lost his best friend. Only because I know out of Dobbs on that and because of others and piecing things together exactly what time Dobbs came, when he went, when he got into town. And as long as, Dudley's shit holds true, the timing for and Dobbs being on and all that. That strikes me as a little weird. Is it a thing? I don't know. It gets even weirder if you combine that, though, with the weird-ass call Hunter supposedly heard between Dawn and Candace. That had to be them talking about Dobbs. But why, when both knew Dobbs can't anywhere, but look at the continuation of that. And how they pumped that shit out to everybody for eons. Why? Knowing it was live. They knew on the 14th. Dobbs never camped anywhere. And had been removed by police. So why the call the next day between each other in front of somebody else? Maybe concern that, like we had on the 15th, we figured Dobbs might come back, this and the other, start shit. Maybe that's as simple as it was. Hunter, being a teenager, half inebriated, heard it a different way. I mean, it could be something just simple and not a thing. So you gotta think of it and be able to go both ways with it. Could have just been something simple. Hunter took it one way, though it was whatever. I still understand the touching the little kids part of it, because I don't know, if I thought people were on my fucking property touching little kids, I'd be calling the police. I'd be having neighbors, I'd be getting hold of them, I'd be doing whatever, being like, hey, there's something out on the property touching little kids. And why you'd say little kids, I don't know. Were there roaming packs of miscellaneous children on 110? Because if it had been Candace and Dawn's and the boys or anything like that, they'd been like, hey, somebody's over touching our kids. Holy shit, get home or call the police. Or, yeah, right, call neighbors. So it doesn't make sense. I don't know about you all, but I'd be jetting my ass home and beating the brakes off somebody. And I would be calling the police on the way. So, I don't know. Maybe Hunter just overheard a simple about Dobbs' conversation. Dawn maybe holding worry because, the way his little warped mind thinks, he's always thinking about other people touching the children. Right? And then he took it a certain way. And then after Summer vanished, he was like, oh shit, it's a thing, but it may not have been a thing. And he was half inebriated too on top of it. I don't know. But that's how the puzzles and the fires work, right? You will, and you have to be willing to look at all the things and go, are they a thing? Are they not? Could it be something simple that looks like a thing, but then may not be at all? Sometimes, though, the more pieces you put with things, it helps. But you have to be careful and know that you could be
It was at the end of Ben Hill Road, picking up.
all fucked up like these dipshits. Well, not like these dipshits or this particular dipshit. But you have to be cautious. and not trying to force it because you think they all correlate or want them to, or brain dots or patterns, which our caveman brains love. You know, like this particular dipshit tried to put together all this meth traffic and visitors and people parked at and all this other crap in the first of this video because it's so fucking stupid it thinks all this line up, or because it just wants to put out a short thing to make y'all think it's good at things. Well, it's actually just fucking up all things and targeting and doing whatever, harassment, that other shit. So in that way, that's why I don't come in here. I never have, and just throw names out. People I have in mind, or all the pieces, or all big pieces, or small pieces, or all the true fires and puzzles I burn and work, and all the things that go with them. I listen on some things are worth mowing, sometimes in the open. For reasons. But, unfortunately, being aware that at any point you mow even in the open, you get assholes like Piss Pad and others who will twist that shit, take shit, place it near shit it absolutely doesn't belong with in the least. They'll often place it in fucking titles with your name and swear you're a liar, or you're this, or stories change that, or something else, right? Well, they try to build themselves and target and harass, but then they don't have a problem taking anything and everything you say, trying to use it, trying to build on it, using it for all the wrong fucking reasons. Nothing good. Nothing for summer, in the least. Just shit to cause more problems with. And harass with, bullshit with. Or they take, and because people don't listen to us, and they don't want to listen to anything with clips and 5-minute vids, and sounds good, and so they buy that bullshit. And their titles. They don't ever, or rarely listen to themselves, but it's what they bank on, isn't it? Literally. You know, I heard in the now hidden live stream where that crazy bitch who threatened Lawson's life and his family's and admitted stalking them, including his grandchildren and stuff. It was on shares the other night when they played the fuck shit with Monster and all that and everything. It's now hidden. That live. In it, I caught Cher saying some shit. And Cher had to take a second or two between. You could tell. She's like, well, and she eventually gave credit to, well, on the street somewhere I heard. No, bitch. She didn't hear somewhere on the streets. She got that info from here. And then she used it, twisted it, added shit to it. And she also can't in any way, like most of these creators, they can't be like, well, it came from JSP. Because, well, then they wouldn't be able to put up my name and liar, liar in the title, or terrorize or harass and shit, right? And their audiences and members and sub, they're not going to go for that anymore. They'll be like, well, this one time we'll believe just, they're just not. So they still yet take the info, run with it, pretend they got it from XYZ or some research group, or they got whatever, and then they twist. Give you narratives, scripts, bullshit, horse shit, or swear, or whatever the fuck they want. They take that, they make bank off of it, and they still continue to target, harass, etc. On the other end, the same shit, different day, right? Same shit, different day. Same shit it's always been. Thing is, anybody who's common sense or logic would realize there is a very good reason why they target my ass and my children wide open, and have for so long. And why those who actually bother to watch realize and see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and that they'll take the info, they'll use the info, they'll do all these things, then they'll swear it down to you all. You can't understand me. I'm drunk or fucked up or something. They don't want to tell y'all cancer, disabilities, none of that shit, right? Because that might create a heart or something. I don't know. It's funnier if they tell y'all you can't understand me, la la la, mumble mouth, whatever, right? It's easier if they tell you I'm a liar. All this other thing. But either way, inconsistent. Whatever this, whatever that. You know. And y'all watch them, but you have no idea the information they're actually giving you, but they still put their own narratives and twists and shit on this from here. Most people have no fucking clue. It's weird that I'm such a liar and so inconsistent that most of these creators run with everything. They try to discredit me, do whatever, cross everywhere, try to get people not to listen but to come to them, but they use the shit from me. I just tell people don't catch on to it. Now, in order to you have to think, why in the hell they've done this for so long? So many years. Certain people around all this. The only reason so many do it, A, is fear. They're afraid of many things where it concerns me, including their old bullshitter around here. Being called out for receipts shown, proof given, blah blah, their crimes, activities, how extreme they go real life in and around cases, inside this community, in our real lives, other cases, communities, law enforcement courts, you know. And because I think others are in this shake often, sometimes when certain ones supposed to speak, especially about certain things. Nobody can have things shaken around here. They don't want that. They also want to potentially taint things on purpose. I don't know. It reeks like a whole lot of fear, and you don't target motherfuckers the way we have been without being absolutely filled to the brim with fear. And also, let's be real, we make them money. The more they target, the more they do whatever. many channels have been built on it? How many income streams have been built on it? And that's the thing. Last night I was listening to a few around this Hiltz situation. And I hear some of these creators saying things like, you know, and it's wild hearing them say shit like this. Always is. They'll say those like Hiltz, or all of us, wouldn't be known if it wasn't for Summer. And to not do XYZ around any of us, okay? But how can they say that? And how can you all listen to that? Because if not for Summer Wells, nobody'd know who the fuck you creators are. Now, even wildly enough, you know, and I heard some last night talking about how Hills ain't shit to Summer or Case. I'll agree with that. But wildly enough, here's the thing. At least Hiltz met Summer at least once. Has at least one time had some connection with Summer. His son obviously had more than just a one-time connection around Summer. I can't say that for any of you fucking creators, other than the ones who knew Candace and Dawn prior to Summer vanishing and instantly inserted after and started fucking with shit. But those aren't the big boys pumping up bullshit right now. And in those same chats list, I see creators who I know for fact and have receipts and proof on that have pulled scams, cons, long-term shit in the tens of thousands. Then honestly, well beyond that if you count scamathons and billboards and all kinds of fuckery. But singular outside of that, satellite scams and cons. Talking about Hiltz and everybody else around Summer and all this shit. I see members, subs, chats, and they're going, yeah, they're not giving anything to anybody but you, creators, y'all are gods. As they speak on how nobody know any of us if not for. Yet all their channels and all they can ever speak on is Summer. Most of them, 99% of who you watch, they all built up on Summer's name. All of our names, the entire community. They're nobodies. They've never met Summer, not even once. They have no connections to her, this community, in the least. They have no hope of putting together the puzzles, facts, pieces, fires, solving shit, or having content to manufacture and pump out, if not for Summer and any of us with connections who speak. If not for all that, and if they stayed their asses online and not go in real life to the extreme and committing crimes around and inserting in all of our lives and Summers in her case, they'd be sitting here and it would have lasted a whole 3 weeks and they'd be left reading you the same fucking articles. News clips and going over them. That's it. But never occurs to those in the hundreds watching their shit, thousands even, going, yeah, we trust you, random motherfucker who's pulled outside satellite scams, cons, marathons, all this shit around summer, who never knew her, wasn't part of the community, startup, built your goddamn channel, slash channels and channels and channels on summer and everybody else in the community. Interesting that, huh? It never ceases to amaze me when I see moments like that. And don't take that to mean I support certain fuckery or scammery right now, because I absolutely do not. I do think that in order to get more content and manufacture shit with people who are patty caking and playing with them and trying to wind themselves around Hunter and all kinds of shit, as is typical throughout all these years, and to use that child, I do think that they took the opportunity to misconstrue wording. Find it weird Dolly's involved. You remember that time you put out that Candace was trying to commit suicide and it ended up being not so much. Queen Bee had to fix that situation and all these things. Yeah. I find that weird too. I find it weird that the one post also that everybody's raising hell about yesterday was Hilt saying that they hadn't gotten enough money to do whatever it was he needed to come here to do to be with his son, so therefore he was going to refund it. But everybody twisted it to say that he didn't have enough to pay everybody back after he'd been caught or whatever. That was not accurate. And to Hilt's dumbass, also think there's a good possibility that when he said dead, he was just speaking on brain death versus. You get what I'm saying? But that too was. Now the rest, checking on everything else, nope. So you can call out each thing that's wrong in all the things and do the right thing, call it all the wrong things without supporting any of the things. Because I don't support a damn bit of it. I don't support tragedy pimps manufacturing, twisting narratives, even of those doing wrong all on their own. I don't support scamming bullshit. I don't support any of the fuckery that's going on, and I don't support this place using Allie's situation as content and raking in funds on it while talking shit about Hunter and his siblings and those. This place has gotten, its viewers have gotten so much entertainment off of while throwing money at creators who are fucking nobodies with no connections at all. And these creators have made bazillions off of tormenting the ever-living fuck out of, slander, harassment, libel, blah, 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 the stalking of, tormenting of, everybody around everything for y'all's entertainment, and trying to discredit people in their time of need, and also simultaneously eating off of it in a way that makes them money again, while they purposefully create doubts so that you will not help Hunter, his siblings, and etc., which is a family you all have gotten a great deal of entertainment off of. Entertainment. By watching abject cruelty, harassment, extreme real life events by creators perpetrated upon everyone around summer. From just hours after summer vanished. Long before most were even public. So, I don't know. It's always weird walking through Jurassic Park. Always weird. Always a what the fuck way of how to, making sure you call out all the things for each tech creator and bullshit alike and all these things. Doing so in a way that's right by all things. It's I'm watching people just be entirely mind-fucked by these nobody-ass creators who are never anything to any of these cases and don't really do any good for any. They have been asked since what's for to get the entire fuck out of them, though, repeatedly. To quit tampering with them, to quit going real life on people, to see their fucking entire asses up out of towns as they repeat the same patterns around families, witnesses, neighbors, courts, tampering their own dope shit and partying around the main suspects, billboard shit, marathon shit, fundraising bullshit anyway. Fucking always a goddamn Little Caesars pizza involved here somewhere, swear to God. Shell games. Tell you what, it's all the same suspects. Same guilty ass parties with enough evidence upon them to prove what they are. Right out in the open. Case after case. Same goddamn guilty parties. You're creative. Manufacturer. People watching though. And keep going, yeah, feed us more shit, sir. At the cost of real cases, real lives, real communities. It's entertaining! Yeah. You're nobody behind an icon. We trust you, sir. Give us some more shit porridge. As law enforcement and feds and neighbors and communities just are like, please stop. And as we watch you in every case, long before Summers, be asked to go the fuck on by neighbors and witnesses, and we watch you tamper with all of them and come up with false suspects and taint, everything from A to Z. And cases go unsolved or missing children's remains still not found, though people are behind bars for it. You wonder what role these same creators played in that. And if not for them, would those kids' remains have been found and put to rest? I wonder a lot of damn things. I guarantee some of these children, even with people behind bars, those children's remains would have been found and laid to rest. If not for these same fuck faces y'all watch. And without all these families, victims, survivors, fighters, and communities around them, and them feeding you out and pumping out bullshit, picking random neighbors, witnesses, the anons, the fry guys, the tow truck guy, the babysitter, a Jody Sue, a this, a that, the other, they wouldn't have channels. They wouldn't have subs, members, paywalls. As nobodies in the universe. That nobody know their names, or what they claim are their name, without doing any of that around all these cases and going that extreme for every day. I sort of wonder how in the hell these people, how do they sleep at night, man? A few thousand subs, a couple channels, backup channel, all that worth it? Your soul, your harming of other people, cases, little ones left unfound and not laid to rest. Is it worth it? Must feed all of them. must be. Somehow. Anyway. I'm off here. You guys. I think I'm gonna go take a walk for a bit. Wind or no winds, sort of feels. It's cold out there, but something about it's calling to me. So I'm gonna go take a walk. Anyway, you guys, I'm off here. Y'all watch your streets, watch yourselves, watch school aid. Remember, small pebbles, sparks, one voice. They can all change the world, save lives, reach and affect lives you may never see, know about, but they do. It's the little things. As always, please do share the DV/Universal Hand Signal for Help. It does save lives, provenly so, not just with kidnappings, abductions, public settings, blah, blah, but with, medical emergencies, people with strokes, heart attacks, medical emergencies, um, speech disabilities, all kinds of things. Uh, it can save lives. It can also help leave paper trails. It can help get help in time to hollows far away from him. But at least paper trails are left behind. Or maybe help's gotten. Or maybe in, like, say, Idaho forest settings or hollows. We're perpetrators and monsters. You can't be running around trying to get signal or risking them hearing a 911 call. But you could tap a button, do the hand signal to someone that could, in fact, call police if they recognized him. Knew the hand signal. suspect as time marches forward, tech means 911 call centers, things like that. There's enough share and learn and hand signal. Maybe there'll be ways to do that visually to 911 call centers, and that they can't come soon enough. The amount of fucking lives that could save in that way alone, Jesus, it's astronomical. So anyway, you guys, please do share it. If you feel so inclined to get. The more people share it, the more people learn it, can use it, can recognize it, the more it becomes commonplace, common knowledge, just like the numbers 911 here in the US. Anyway, and as always, please do share Summer's picture information, call her by her name, and by information, y'all know I do not mean social media. I do not mean any of these creators' bullshit, narratives, Kool-Aid, blah, blah, blah. I don't mean even any of us speaking around anything, because get this, we're not shit. Nobody knows what counts, what doesn't, blah, blah, blah. We may live here, may witness certain things for years, or on June 15th or forward, but that does not mean all the things from all of us are going to be a thing or anything at all. And let's be real, not all things from everybody can be a thing or part of a thing or anything. So we are not the information either. When you share information with Summer's image and name, please make sure that it's from local surrounding law enforcement agencies, TBI, FBI, local investigative journalists, not a Bullhorn JLR, or hidden variety. Y'all know how I feel about that type of shit. The Nancy Grace type babies ain't it, bro. Nancy Grace, anti-tragedy pimp, tragedy pimp. Fucking shit, ain't it? Alright. So anyway. Stick with those like Ansley, Bobo, and the rest, downstate, real news stations, real journalists, investigative ones, real ones, on the ground or close. And as always, if you can watch a 10-second clip over here, I'd hope you can spend time going to the TBI website, the Q&A section on Summer and her case, making yourself aware of all the basics at least, so that these creators, manufacturers, criminal ass junky pieces of garbage behind these icons with longer freaking criminal records than anybody else they ever talk crap about in any of these cases. Those people, so they can't mislead you, use you, mindfuck you, make you drink the Kool-Aid, can't keep y'all all over the place, believing all the bullshit, so that then you are used to inundate law enforcement, take time away from real cases with bullshit theories, thoughts, blah, blah, aha, whatever, right? So, don't let them use you, don't let them mislead you. It would help greatly if all of you took 10 seconds to go over there and read that. If you can't find it there, I know Goodwill, it's in the Rogers Review and Bobo's articles. He's got links to it, and he's got it all in articles otherwise, so you can find it there as well. But it keeps these creators operating in certain bounds to where they can't do extreme stuff at least as much. They, you'd hope not. Here we are. But it'll help you all. It helps Summer. It helps law enforcement. So please do go see the Q&A. Whole lot of info. Alright, guys. So I'm out of here. Y'all have a good morning, good evening, good night. I'm heading to what's left of the darkness. Go on a walk about. Go feel the wind for a bit. Pulling me. Anyway, I hope all of you are warm, healthy, happy tonight, today, and if you're in one of the snow pile zones, I hope you're staying definitely warm and cuddled up with a loved one, a critter, or a good book. Ain't nobody got time for that 63-foot snowdrift shit. Y'all stay safe, happy, healthy.